Hey guys, welcome to the lab where we help you develop a meaningful life.
Leave it all behind. 넘어져도 다시 일어나.
So yes, welcome back to episode 16. And oh wait, this is episode 17, my bad. Today I just wanted to break some things down with you guys and talk with you guys in the lab. I've been planning big stuff, very big things for lab and had everything going, have everything scheduled and all. And once my holidays hit for me to actually work on lab, I absolutely did nothing. Not because I was lazy or not because I didn't want to. I had way too many thoughts disturbing my brain to a point where I'm not making excuses, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And I never knew that I was a very big, obsessively overthinking person, but I'm a very big, obsessively overthinking person. I may not look like that, and when you see me, I may not look like that because I'm a very outgoing, positive, bright, loud person, but when I'm by myself, I'm the opposite. And I don't know why I do that to myself, but what I came down with was I need time for myself. I need time for my self care, self love. And I know that I'm a very big advocate of self love, self care, personal development. You need to care about yourself. You need to develop yourself for a better you. But I've been saying that. I've been doing that. But for who? And yeah, that thought just came to me and I was like, whoa, peace. Like, no one asked you to do anything. Why are you working? Why are you pushing yourself so hard to help others, to give something to others that no one even asked for? And I was like, wow, why am I? Like, does my value even give any value to any people? Like, I might think that it's valuable, but you guys might not. And I'm just like, how was I so stubborn? How was I so proudful to think that this was worth a value? And I'm not getting negative here. I'm just ranting like my brain. Like I have so much in my brain, but I just wanted to be honest with you guys because I think I may have acted as if I got everything under control and I know what I'm doing. And I thought I did at first, but now I don't. And I just want to say it's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't. Peace. And I need to say this to myself because I think sometimes the shift changes where I do this for myself. I say things to myself to remind myself, but sometimes it gets to a point where it's like I'm talking to you or talking to this, and then my perspectives change that to the point where it's no longer talking to myself, but talking to something or someone. But that happened, and I was like, peace. Why are you trying so hard? Why are you pleasing people? And it just broke me down. Because sometimes I might be a people pleaser, I think. And I don't know what has gone down for the last 12 to 40 days, but I've been reading a book called Spiritual Transformation, and it's been helping me meditate and reflect on myself a lot. It's been helping me to connect myself with God a lot as well. And during that process, during that time, I had way too many thoughts that was just overweighing me, and I just didn't know what to do. I started writing so much. I started talking to myself a lot and having overly weighted thoughts. I just needed to do something. And sometimes it's okay if you don't have anything under control. Sometimes it's okay if you don't have the right answer. Sometimes it's just better to just do rather than think so many things. And so I chose to just sit here and talk, to bring out what my thoughts are and to just dump it here so that I can just leave it all behind. I mean, that's the purpose of this podcast, right? I made this podcast because the moment that we are in right now, we're just here to leave what we have right now and move on with it. And I think that's what really, really matters. To not grudge on things, to not hold on to the past, to not hold on to the feelings and stress myself, but being okay to let go and move on. In the midst of all of this, I came back from a funeral today, and it wasn't like my funeral or my family's funeral, but same time last year around this time, my grandma passed away as well, and unfortunately, my family and I weren't able to do a funeral in Korea. We weren't able to visit her because we're currently in Australia. My grandma is in South Korea, and when she passed, and we couldn't even go. We couldn't do anything because it was COVID. And sadly enough, even though if we went, because we're not like citizen here, we didn't have the guarantee of being able to come back. And so our family weren't able to go and see her. And I think that's kind of been bugging me for quite a while. And today, coming back from the funeral, I just had a lot of mixed emotions where I think to some people, funeral might be very sad. And like, of course, if your direct family member or friend or of a friend or a friend's family passed away, it's really sad. It's really sad, and of course there is grief, there is mourning. But on the other hand, I saw the beauty of funerals, not just funerals, but I saw the beauty of the passing. People can't live forever, and we have our own timing. We have our own seasons. We're like flowers. We have a time to bloom, and when our season is due, we fall. And that's just the life cycle of beings. That's how we've been created. And there's this saying where there are two main events that you can never miss out on in life, where it's the invitation of weddings and funerals. Everything else you can miss out, cancel, make a punk out and stuff, but weddings and funerals you must attend. And today I had the opportunity, thankfully, I had a grateful opportunity to play the piano for the 위로 예배, which is like it's like a grieving and mourning service for the family and friends for the person who passed away. And I was sitting there in front of the grand piano, and I was just so nervous. And normally I don't really get nervous, but sometimes there are those moments where it's like, wow, God, like, help me now. Save me now, what kind of moments. And I was just sitting there thinking, this was my third funeral where I was playing piano, and I don't know what kind of feeling I was feeling, but I was there, and I was like, wow, God, I'm playing piano for these people here, but I wasn't able to play for my grandma. And how good would it have been if I could play and send my grandma off in peace as well? I could have been a bit angry with God, but rather than that, I had a feeling where it was like I was really grateful. I was really, really grateful where with my service I was able to serve not only the person who passed away, not God and not just the family, but the people who were all there. They were able to mourn, they were able to grieve, they were able to send their last prayers and gratitude to the person who passed away. And being there, I was just sitting there in front of the piano, just so overwhelmed with that feeling. How proud would my grandma would have been of me. And I was just like, wow, God. I could have been that one person sitting in the seats. And I'm not saying like because you sit in the seat, it's like it's not good or anything. But I could have been just sitting there and attend the service. But I was part of the service and I gave my portion of service. And I felt so grateful about it because I was there serving. And sometimes on Sundays, I'm not gonna lie, I serve morning services by playing piano in my church and Sunday morning services. And sometimes when there are events or just randomly there are people who just puts me in the box of, oh, you're the pianist of church. And I get it. Like I play the piano, so oh well, I'm the pianist, and also I am the pastor's kid. So if you're the pastor's kid and you play the piano, then you do you, and you work for me kind of vibes. And so I was kind of like that servant where if they ask, I play, no matter what I feel, no matter how in what manner they ask me. Sometimes they don't really ask me, they just give me a sheet music and they're like, I'm gonna do this, so can you play that? And they don't even use the magic word please. And I feel very, very, I don't know, I have that bitter heart. And sometimes I did have that bitter heart. And I came to my mom and I was like, Mom, like these people don't even like treat me as a human. Like I'm a person too. Why can't they ask me? Why can't they say please? And my mom was like, girl, you should have a grateful heart to be able to serve, to be able to play for them. And I was like, I do, but why can't they just ask nicely? I'm a person too. And then we had that conversation. And then sometimes every now and then I would get bitter, but I prayed so hard, asking God for patience, for love, and to be able to serve this wholeheartedly with a joyful heart. Because if you're gonna do it, 이왕 하는 거 좋은 마음으로 해주면 좋으니까. 나도 섬김이니까 좋은 마음으로 섬기면 좋잖아. Rather than having a bitter heart because you're offended, you know? 근데 오늘 정말 다시 한번 I was really grateful. And that heart of you're not doing it to glorify anyone. You're not there to be glorified. You're not there to be recognized. You might be the shadow. You might be the person just backstage. You might be the person behind the scenes of everything, just being the shadow. No one might recognize you. No one will notice you. But despite that, you're there so that the service can be full, like 100%. You're there serving them so that they can have a full service, so that they can worship. Okay, my bedtime. Sorry, so I go to bed at 10 and right now it's 10 p.m. so my bedtime alarm just rang. But anywho, where was I? But anywho, yes, my point is I was just really grateful today. Very, very grateful. And I just needed to say that because, like I said, there's just way too many thoughts in my brain and there's just way too many information that we get fed by every single day. And there's not a lot of time where we spend gratitude. There's not a lot of care in how we are grateful of our days. And I just wanted to use this time to say this out loud because you only have one life. You only have one today. What if I mess up? What if I never end up doing this? What if things go wrong and I don't know, but still, you have today. Still, what would you choose to do? Like I said, 갑자기 먹방 타임. It's a Korean traditional rice cake, 쑥 절편. And these are my favorite. I love these. I love these. And if you have this with honey, like, oh, so good. But in funerals, we have these rice cake ducks. They're tradition. It's our tradition. But anyways, I just needed some stress eat food, so here's a sukjeopyeon. But I don't know. End of the line. I'm just still experimenting with this podcast, with my life, and with whatever I do. So please don't think that I have everything under control and that I know everything that I'm doing, because I don't. I'm a human being. I am a human being, and my mind is not in my mind right now. I'm still exploring with this podcast. I'm still experimenting ways of how I want to do this, rather than pleasing others, rather than thinking what people might like and don't like. I just want this place to be an honest space for myself first, so that I can find the meaning in life, so that I can help you guys develop your meaning in life. Because if I don't know how to do it myself, how am I going to help you in the first place? And who am I to even help you in the first place? So shame on you, peace. But I still love you. But anywho, this morning, I was thinking about disciplines. And this random thought came into my mind where it was like, Buddhist, Korean 부처님들, there's a saying where they go inside of their temples and they're very, very selfless. And so when they die, their body becomes this pearl. And if you become a pearl, then that's like, wow, like this person was like, pfft. But there's a saying, and that person is very selfless, very, in a way, emotionless, because that person doesn't get angry. That person is very patient and wise and all. But this morning, I read this line where it's like, your mind will talk to you when you deny the fulfillment of your desires. And I understood, oh, maybe that's why, like, 부처님들, they get that. And I was like, what about us Christians? What about me? Like, what about a person like me? What am I doing right now? I live my life to fulfill my desires. Not all the time, but I think I do. I'm a very selfish person. I'm a person. I'm a human being. I might not look like that, but I am. And I just needed some discipline. And there were like 13 categories of the discipline that they outlined. And they were like, so what's the one discipline that comes to you straight? And I asked myself, like, what kind of discipline do I need to work on so that I may be able to deny the fulfillment of my desires? Which category of discipline do you need? And so the first one came to me was service. Service, the definition of service is doing it without the cause of being glorified. Doing it from a willing heart, not for yourself. Doing something that is not of benefit, of any kind of benefit, to yourself. And I did not have that. Throughout my life, I've met a lot of people. Throughout my life, I've did a lot of jobs that required people skills, communication skills, and service skills. And I thought I had very good customer service skills. And I do. I know how to talk my ways. I know how to interact with people. But customer service is to please others and you 맞춰 them. But sometimes behind that customer service is advantages, self-benefits, self-recognition. Because in a customer service, if you're good with your customer service, then the customer returns good review. And because you want the good review in return, hence is why you give good customer service. Now, do you give good customer service just because of the cause of it? Some people do, but most of the people they don't because they want good reviews in order to get compensated. That was me. I thought I was good in giving services. I thought I was a very good person of serving, giving my all, giving my time and energy and effort to places and people. But at the end of the day, I saw myself wanting benefits. I saw myself wanting recognition. And that was just nasty. And I hated myself for that. And so I chose to and say, bro, I do not need you, so go away. And so maybe that's why I'm just venting this out here, because I need to say it out. I don't need to make it public. I don't need people to hear me out, but what have I got to lose? I think I'm going on a very large tangent. But today I saw so many people come through that haven't been seeing each other for a very long time. And because of these events, because there is a funeral, because someone passed away, because of that, people gather in one place. They greet each other, they see each other in a very long time, and it's so welcoming to see them because you're so like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in such a long time. How have you been? Like, it's so good to see you. That's the vibe that funeral not should be, but a lot of people wants that when they die. I would want that if I die. And that was just the beauty that I've seen in the funeral, where it's not just you're there because of the cause or just because of the reason, or of course you're there to pay your respects and love and prayers and yeah, but thanks to them, 그들의 마지막 순간까지도 우리도 즐거운 시간을 보내고 그분으로 인해서 그동안 못 봤던 사람들을 만나고 그분으로 인해서 그동안에 있었던 상황들, 내 자신과 다시 생각을 하면서 점검할 수 있었던 시간, 새로운 사람도 만나고 못 봤던 사람도 오랜만에 만나고. And it was so good because that reflected the person who passed away. It was really good to meet new people. It was really good to see people who I haven't seen in a very long time. It was really good to be able to serve there and be there. It was really good to see people come and go and the interactions that they would have. It's good to see people of how much they've grown, of who they become and who they will become. 이렇게 살아가는구나 싶으면서도 되게 감사하더라고. Being able to have the community to grow with. Being able to have the people around you. So if you're listening to this podcast, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for who you are, for how you've got here. I don't know, but I don't care what you have achieved. I don't care what your status is. I don't care what you didn't achieve or what not. I just care that you're here. I just care that you're alive. And I just care that you're there. And I'm really grateful of who you are. So if you're not sure where you are, if you're like brain dead as I am, it's okay. It's okay. The world we live in today requires us to, expects us to be successful at such a young age, having the thought of us like dying at the age of 50. If you're going to die at the age of 50, then be successful at the age of 25, 26. It's all right. But we're going to live until like the age of 100 and 200. Yet we see success is something that we need to achieve in such an early age. I'm under that pressure as well. But it's fine. Take it slow. Don't follow the worldly patterns like that. Don't be persuaded by its ways. Be you. And just do you as who you are right now. So thank you for being alive. Thank you for breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And thank you for listening to this far. And I really, really appreciate you guys for being on this journey with me, for exploring, experimenting, and being able to discover what this podcast, what this is in part of my life as well. And I really do hope that this podcast is going somewhere and is giving you some sort of value, and that we can grow together and that we can just have this place to chill and talk. So thank you guys for listening this far. I really hope to see you guys next week as well. And until then, stay warm, stay peaceful, and keep on seeking. If you don't know the answer, just keep finding. If you keep digging, there's going to be something. So seek and you will find. Leave it all behind. Bye.
Leave it all behind. 넘어져도 다시 일어나.
야, 근데 내가 이 쑥절변 떡을 먹고 있더니 참 미쳤지 나도. You're stressed eating peace. That's okay. You know, 오늘만 먹고 내일도 운동하면 되니까. Cheers to you, grandma. 할머니도 진짜 좋아했는데.
The lower I go, my life ain't a four-leaf clover. And no more luck. Waiting for the turn of it wasn't the main of my life. Before I changed my life, I'd be going down, so down to the pain I gained from the darkness they reigned. Sculpted me to be the one I am.
빵순이의 떡전이야.
99 things are good, but trust it ain't for the one that brings me
Anyways,
pain.
bye.
But through it all, I remain.